Is it recording? Is it recording? Okay. Hey, how y'all doing? If you're new to my channel, welcome my child. And if you're not new to my channel, welcome back to another episode of GFab News. Ting! Here's a song, this is the intro, but it's just my voice. So today's episode is called Boundaries. Before I begin, let me just state the obvious that every relationship needs boundaries. Any kind of relationship that doesn't have boundaries can result in a very unhealthy relationship. Whether it's with a family member, a friend, a partner, a coworker, an octopus, anybody! Creating boundaries in any relationship gives the other person time to acknowledge, understand, and apply boundaries to the relationship. By doing this, you're setting respectable guidelines for others so that lines don't get crossed. You never want to put yourself in a position where you are upset or uncomfortable by other people's actions towards you. Hence why we create boundaries. So I guess the question on your mind is, when is the appropriate time to tell somebody your boundaries? Is there an appropriate time to tell somebody about your personal bubble? Yes and no. Let's chat. I feel like setting boundaries in an intimate relationship or any type of relationship should be given or talked about when you guys first start talking. At least the no-no rules that you should be aware of from the jump. In a relationship, your boundaries don't always have to be sex related, but you may have some preferences you'd want your partner to respect. The key point is to tell the person you're tinging with about your boundaries beforehand, so there's no miscommunication between the two of you. If you're the type of person who doesn't like texting or talking on the phone all the time, let them know. If you're the type of person who doesn't like PDA, that stands for public display of affection, let them know. If you're the type of person who finds it hard to open up easily to someone new, shall we say it together? Let them know. Let's not get it twisted though. You should always have the sex boundaries talk with the person you're tinging with at the beginning of the talking phase. Of course, you shouldn't start your first conversation with, "Hi, I'm blah blah, and I like anal." Unless you do start that way. Then keep it up. You're doing great, sweetie. What I'm getting at is when it comes to intimate relationships, there isn't a set time frame to tell somebody about your boundaries, but sooner rather than later is always preferred. As your relationship continues, you'll always face new problems that you need to encounter. But expressing your concern the first time can lead to less complications later. And I would like to make something very crystal clear. Boundaries does not equal compromising. Let me let y'all marinate with that fact for a moment. Did you let that shit sink in? Good. Having boundaries and compromising are two different things. You cannot or you should not compromise anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. That's why you set boundaries. Boundaries are guidelines that one must follow if you want to kick it with me. But that does not mean you should compromise one's boundaries. When you are vocal about somebody else's actions towards you or anything that makes you uncomfortable, it is not a gateway for that person to try and convince you otherwise, to alter or compromise your guidelines. No means no. This also applies vice versa, BTW. Do not try to convince someone who has already expressed to you that they are not comfortable with your actions, that y'all should come to a compromise on the situation. Boundaries are set in stone and they can only be altered or changed by the person who set the boundaries. Please remember that in any kind of relationship, if your boundaries are not being respected by the person you're talking to, you have every right to stop associating with that person. You are 100% allowed to disconnect from them, leave them, stop being their friend, quit the job position, or whatever the situation may be. I say this because although that person may not respect your boundaries, someone else will. And others who know you already respect your boundaries, so you shouldn't sulk or dwell over someone else who doesn't. Not only should you respect other people's boundaries, but your boundaries should be respected as well. And if you know someone that is not respecting your boundaries, or you yourself are trying to compromise the problem in your relationship, take a step back and ask yourself,
do I deserve this? Is this gonna make me happy? Is my time being wasted?
If the answers to all those questions are no, no, and yes, excuse my French, but get the out of that relationship
ASAP after this shit.
All right, guys and girls, that is all the talking I'll be doing on this episode. I know it seems like my points were focused more on intimate relationships, but all the statements I stated relate to any kind of relationship. You need to have boundaries in your life.
Point blank, period.
You don't deserve to be taken advantage of, and you definitely don't deserve to be disrespected. I know y'all know the drill by now. Like, comment, subscribe, share, or dislike. I don't care. I do care. I don't care. Nah. I do care. TQE, aka the Queen Evie, is out of here. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.